Okay, we're going to go over your warm-up, so you should have already turned your warm-up sheet in. If you haven't done that, you need to do that immediately because I'm about to go over the problems, excuse me. So again, if you haven't turned in your warm-up, do so now. Okay, here we go. If the probability of A is equal to 0.24 and the probability of B is equal to 0.52 and A and B are independent, then what is the probability of A or B? To find the probability of A or B, the most basic thing that we can say is that, oh, or means add. That's like middle school level probability. You would take the probability of A plus the probability of B. And so then we would pick D and get it wrong because we've learned that anytime there's overlap, we need to go ahead and subtract the probability of that overlap out of that sum of those two probabilities. So this did not tell us that these two events are mutually exclusive. Independent and mutually exclusive are not the same thing. So we cannot assume that there's no overlap. So we do have to account for that. So we're going to do the probability of A, which is 0.24. We're going to add that to the probability of B, which is 0.52. And then we're going to subtract the probability of A and B, which is going to be 0.24 times 0.52. And so if you picked D, they did trick you because you didn't subtract the overlap. The correct answer would actually be C. Okay. Second question, people with type O negative blood are universal donors. That is, any patient can receive a transfusion of O negative blood. Only 7.2% of the American population has O negative blood. If 10 people appear at random to give blood, what is the probability that at least one of them is a universal donor? So this question's kind of tricky. It's not as straightforward as I want to try to make it, because when I do it the way my brain goes to attack this problem, I don't get the right answer. So let me explain kind of how you do it. And pay special attention to this one. You are going to take the Chapter 5 quiz in just a few minutes. And I will tell you that number 17 and number 19 on the quiz today need to be approached the way I'm going to do the second question here. Okay. So if we want at least one of them out of the 10 people to be a universal donor, then that means that you basically are not allowed to have 10 of them not be a universal donor. So you're going to find the probability, and I know it sounds really weird, guys, but you're going to find the probability that 10 of them are not a universal donor, and whatever probability you get, you're going to subtract that from 1, and so then you're going to have at least one of them that are. So if I said, oh, there's a 30% chance it's not going to rain, well, then I can subtract that from 1, and you know there's a 70% chance that it is going to rain. Okay, so kind of weird, but here we go. So how do I find the probability that 10 of them are not donors? Well, if I take 1 minus the 0.072, because remember, you have a 7.2% chance that they are donors, that they are universal donors, excuse me, then you have a 92.8% that they're not. But you're talking about 10 people. So you want to take that probability, the 0.928, and you want to raise it to the 10th power. Okay? So I know that's a huge number, but that's the probability that 10 people are not universal donors. So if I take that answer and I subtract it from 1, it's going to leave me with the probability, answer choice C, that's the probability that at least one is a universal donor. So you are considering like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, all the way through all 10 of them being possibilities. So kind of backwards, but that's how you're going to attack number 17 and number 19 on your quiz as well. You're going to find the opposite probability and then subtract it from the 10th power. So hopefully that helps you. So you guys are going to work on the quiz now, and you have, you know, the majority of the period, not the whole period, because I do want you to have about 20 minutes at the end of class to go over it. So in 6th period, let's see, y'all are going to get out at 11:55. So I'd say by about 11:30, y'all need to be you know, going over the quiz. So you are going to play another video link that's going to have me explaining each of the quiz problems to you, and you'll grade it. And then 8th period, you guys need to be going over it. Let's see, I said give yourself about 20 minutes. So just to be safe, I'd say about 3:25 you need to be going over the quiz. So that gives you quite a bit of time to work on the quiz. What I would like you to do is figure out, about half of that time, I want you to work individually on it. I want you to try these 20 problems on your own, not comparing with anyone. And then after half the time has gone, then please start comparing answers. Discuss the questions. Don't just say, oh, you got 1/6. Okay, I'm going to write down 1/6 also. I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to write on my paper because you're smart and it must be right. No, actually explain to each other, and this is how many of this thing, I got, and that's what, these are the possibilities, and this is how many times it happens, and actually, understand where these numbers come from. Explain it to each other so that you can walk away from here with a good understanding of these 20 problems on your quiz. Okay, so do take the time to work it out alone. I know you guys, I can trust you guys to do that. So give those 20 problems a chance individually, and then, work in your small groups with the people around you and compare answers. And then, like I said, I would say the video is about 20 minutes, so give yourself about 25 minutes. Go ahead and play the video clip of me explaining the problems to you, and go through and correct them and grade them as you do that, okay? So good luck with that. Email me if you have any questions about any of it. We will still have our test on Friday, guys, so I will put the explanation of the quiz up on Schoology. And again, I ask you, please just message me if you have any questions over anything, or come see me. I will be here Thursday morning for tutoring, so come see me before school on Thursday if you need some individual help as well. Okay? Goodbye.